In other news, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says a plan to end the war could be ready within the coming days. Now, his negotiators are right now in Miami, Florida, working on a US-backed peace deal to end the war. The Ukrainian delegation is meeting with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. Ukraine says any agreement must include international security guarantees. Talks in Geneva last week led to substantial changes to the original 28-point plan, which was seen as favourable to Russia. Rubio says the priorities of the negotiations have now changed.
The end goal is obviously not just the end of the war. Obviously, that's essential and fundamental. We want to see the end of the killing and the death and the suffering, and I'm sure the Ukrainian side, I know they do as well. They want peace, but it's also about securing an end to the war that leaves Ukraine sovereign and independent and with an opportunity at real prosperity. So this is not just about ending a war. This is about ending a war in a way that creates a mechanism and a way forward that will allow them to be independent and sovereign, never have another war again, and create tremendous prosperity for its people.
Misha Komadovsky is in Miami for us at the golf club of Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, where the meeting is taking place. Journalists are prohibited from broadcasting while the meeting's ongoing, but we've got Misha on the phone for us. Misha, thanks a lot for joining us. What can we expect from these talks?
Well, Jared, both sides are trying to finish work on a revised U.S. peace plan that Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner plan to present to Putin on Tuesday. And this round of talks, I have to say, can be called golf club diplomacy because the meeting between Americans and Ukrainians is taking place here at a golf club owned by President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff. We were inside the room for the opening statements, these ones that you can see on the screen. And I have to say, Witkoff appeared visibly fatigued with his face showing a day's stubble. Just minutes ago, he stepped out for a break, looking more upbeat, and he told us that the atmosphere inside is positive as well, and the negotiations are going well. And Ukraine's team is now led by the National Security and Defense Council Secretary Rustem Umerov, and includes senior diplomats, military leaders, and intelligence officials. And last week, our sources in Geneva told DW News that negotiators left the most sensitive issues, including territorial questions, for Presidents Trump and Zelenskyy to decide, saying they basically lacked the mandate. That's why both sides called those talks highly productive. Now the U.S. hopes to align fully with Ukraine, but after Kyiv pushed to revise that notorious 28-point plan, the Kremlin is signaling it may not accept the new terms.
Yeah, and Misha, you sort of just hinted at it there, but Zelensky's top advisor and negotiator, Andrei Yermak, was fired this week over corruption allegations. You were just talking about who has replaced him. Just remind us of his name again and what this person, particular gentleman, is like.
Yeah, that infamous Ukrainian pronunciation. So you're right. The talks come after a major shakeup in Kyiv. Now, former Zelensky's chief of staff, Andrei Yermak, resigned on Friday after anti-corruption officers raided his home. He later stated that he was going to the front line and he was supposed to lead these negotiations. But now Rustem Umerov, the National Security and Defense Council secretary, is taking in for him. Also, we have Serhiy Kislitsa, Deputy Foreign Minister, General Andriy Ignatov, Chief of Staff of Ukraine's Armed Forces, Ukrainian intelligence officials, and Olga Stefanishina, Ambassador of Ukraine to the United States, in the delegation. We sat down with her literally a few days ago, and you can watch that interview on dwnews.com. Again, Steve Witkoff just stepped out for a break literally a few minutes ago, and he said that the atmosphere inside is positive and the negotiations are going well. We are staying here and we'll let you know if anything changes.
Thanks a lot for that, Misha. We'll certainly be coming back to you as these talks progress. That's Misha Komadovsky in Miami.